Guys, just a very quick breaking news story. The CPI data came out in the United States. We've pumped all the way back up to $84,500, I believe, closing the CME gap. Let's take a very quick look into if the CME gap to the upside was closed. We are very close to doing. The CME futures isn't open yet. So when it does open in just about an hour or so, if Bitcoin keeps pushing to the upside, then we should be able to close the CME gap at $84,800. In fact, if the price is now exactly where it is when the CME futures market opens, then the CME gap to the upside would have been closed just like we predicted. But so far, we have an inverse head and shoulders forming on the 30-minute time frame. When you zoom out, we had a similar formation that took place back in the 27th of February. We saw the breakout on the 2nd of March, a huge breakout. It was approximately, let's have a look, how big of a pump did we see? It was a 12% push to the upside. Are we going to see the same thing? Well, time will tell, but I don't usually like to trade the day before, and the day after economic data. That's just my own personal trading principles. And all the OG crypto kids from like when I was 14 years old, I've been saying the same thing. But this is a very good inverse head and shoulders pattern. I really, really like what I see here. You can open a degen long position with a retest back to $83,400. The links down below are there for you to open an exchange account if you want to trade Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. That could be a degen position where you can take with the following setup. So you would open it if we do see the retest. CME gap, I don't want to put the CME gap as a target, but there is a lot of strong resistance for Bitcoin at around the $87,000 area. So this could be a trade which you decide to set up. Take profit around 86,500 and stop loss just below right there. Very low leverage, just as a very degen position. If you're really into opening a long position, the risk to reward ratio is 1 to 3.35. So not a bad position whatsoever. You could even try to get into it right now if you really want to trade this. But like I said, don't like to trade the day before, the day after, and on the day of massive breaking news events. So completely up to you. But the breaking news story is that the CPI data fell to 2.8%, below expectations of 2.9%. We were expecting a 2.9% inflation data. We saw it drop by I believe we call it 20 basis points. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not used to the basis point system. But you can see that the core inflation rate, which is the Fed's preferred inflation data metric, fell down to 3.1% from 3.3%. Of course, this is showing that, the economy is looking good. I don't know how to analyze this because in the previous few months before Trump was elected, whatever bearish sort of economic outlook you experienced, the price of risk on assets went higher. So now that we're seeing good data, because inflation going down is good, now the price of Bitcoin is pumping. So I don't know, guys. Like recently, economic data has been super, super weird. What's even weirder is the same guy that longed Bitcoin at 200, went into like a Ethereum and Bitcoin position worth $200 million before Trump's announcement of the strategic reserve. The same guy that longed there and took profit, then shorted before the tariff announcement, is now longing Ethereum with $140 million. And this was right before the CPI data. And in fact, Ethereum is up a little bit, nothing too crazy when you compare it to Bitcoin. But I guess he predicted again somehow. I don't know if this is a guy in the Federal Reserve. I don't know if he's a person in Trump's cabinet. I honestly don't know how he's getting it so accurately these days. But he was able to jump into a long position at $1,883, putting him into actually a pretty good profit so far. So yeah, that is the breaking news that I really wanted to cover very quickly before the moon show, which will be taking place in just a couple of hours' time. Now, I do need to tell you that the tariffs, like I mentioned before, the tariffs that are being put into place, they will be reflected onto the inflation data approximately 6 to 9 months after the tariffs are in place, which is around, these times in April the 2nd. So towards the ending of this year, or Q3 of this year, I am expecting inflation to go up once again. How is that going to be? How will that affect really the price of Bitcoin? Well, we're going to find out, right? We're going to find out. I think we're bullish in the macro. Senator Cynthia Lummis did announce a new bill, which we spoke about. That should drive the price of Bitcoin higher. And as always, guys, I think this is just a shakeout, and we had a beautiful retest. Great time to buy. Keep on dollar cost averaging, and you should be completely okay. Hold on a second. Is this new? I think we got some more breaking news, but I'll get into that in the Moon Show. So stay tuned on the Moon Show channel. Guys, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all on the next video very soon. Take care, guys, and as always, bye-bye.